Right, welcome back to the channel, guys, and this is just been delivered. It is a upgraded version of this radio that I'm going to replace in the Ford Focus convertible. So for those of you who don't know, I have bought a Ford Focus convertible and the radio didn't work. I mean, it's got a fancy screen in this car. I'm just going to start it up because it's bloody freezing. Window ain't gone up, but never mind. Just turn that down a minute or off. But there's problems with the radio. I'm going to show you. The screen is cracked. I did that. Okay. I was messing about with it, trying to take it off and everything, and I pushed it on the screen. Shouldn't have done that, but the radio didn't really work right. So it's got like DVD player, mobile TV. It actually has a TV on this thing. It's got GPS, but every time you was using a touchscreen like this, it just didn't respond right, and there were things not working right on it. So I thought, you know what, let's get a replacement. So this is what I've got, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to remove the radio and hopefully install the new one without any problems. So I'm just going to sort my camera out here while I do that. There we go. Right, can you see, and are you sitting comfortably? So we're going to open this one because this is the replacement, like I said. So I don't think it has as much stuff on it like mobile TV, but I can't remember what it said on the description, but it is a replacement for this, and comes with, it's a really nice box actually that it's coming. Comes with instructions for the reversing camera here, which I might fit. Right, so basically what I'll do is another video on a reversing camera. So all you need to do is like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see that video. Probably be about 3 or 4 weeks, a month or so, because you can just buy a reversing camera. So yeah, it's got loads of little, obviously little diagrams here for reversing camera. I'm trying to find the reversing camera picture. I can't find it anyway. But yeah, it's got instructions there. It's a bit dyslexic, but I am dyslexic, so I might be able to understand them then. But comes with a manual as well. There you go. So that just shows you how to use it, but I just like to plug and play me. I don't read instructions very well. So got all the leads here for connections and everything. It's got a GPS aerial, but this car's already got the GPS aerial in, so we won't be able to we won't be using that, the one that it's come with. And it's got all the CAN bus decoder and everything with it for the CAN bus and everything. But yeah, you can actually connect it up to amplifiers and all sorts if you've got like other speakers. But what was quite impressive with this kit is it does actually come with screwdrivers and trim removal kits. I was going to buy a trim removal kit. So there is the unboxing side of it. So this is the radio here, still in its packaging. I keep calling it a radio, it's a multimedia system. I don't want to damage it, so it's just in this plastic bag here. I'm just going to open this, if we can get inside it. So there you go. This is a replacement, like I said, and it takes micro SD cards. It's literally the same as that, but like I said, it is an upgraded version of it, so it does a little bit more than that one, I think. So just pop that one up there for now. I'm going to start removing the radio. So trim removals, very simple to use. You get that. It's best to use plastic ones if you've got plastic ones, because you don't want to damage your dashboard when doing this. So this has 3 in it. These are going to be very handy for what I do, because I do lots of bits and pieces on my car. So there's different sizes there. So basically all you need to do is get them in the edges. So I believe that the bottom section on this might wear my gloves actually. It's a bit cold. As you probably tell by the windscreen, it's freezing. We're going to do this while it's... That's why I switched the engine on. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it'll only pop the fuse anyway if anything goes wrong. So it should just pop off this panel. I've had it off before, so it shouldn't be too difficult to pop off. There we go. Right, so there are the clips on the back. Like I say, it just pops off. It should just pop off easily enough. Once you've got that off, you're left with the radio. Now this came with a screwdriver, but these aren't screws, these are Torx, and I think this is a T20, I think it is. That's not a T20, that's a T30. These are the ones I want, I think. It's T20. There we go. Get the screws out. Handy thing about cars is having cup holders, which is good. To pull all the wiring out as best you can. Make sure it's... That's the aerial there. These here on this are the aerials for such as your GPS and everything, so you need to make a note of what they are. So this one here is for the TV, believe it or not. That one there is for an Apple iPod connection. This one has Apple iPod connection. This one here is for the GPS. I understand. Or maybe it's the other one that's for the GPS. I don't know. Could be. So that just done clips there. And that is the old unit out. And my bum's getting hot because I've got the seat on. Right. So when you're comparing the two, very similar. So this should just unclip. There we go. It's just a lever that, and you push it up on clips like that. So that goes with that stereo there. Get the new ones out. And you've got the same fitment, so it should just clip in like that. Got that one as well. Right. So once I've got it all connected up at the back there and everything, this is what we're doing in the next section of this video, which I've speeded up. It took absolutely ages to get this unit back into that slot, because of all the wires and all the bulkiness of the clip that holds it together to the wiring harness for the original stereo. So if you don't know anything about Ford radios, then the Ford radio would connect straight to the lock that you pull out. So you need this adapter to adapt it to any other type of stereo like this one, and all that wiring needs to be tucked up into where the vents are and everywhere. You have to find pockets of areas in the dashboard behind the stereo to get it to fit back in, and this took absolutely ages because, as you can imagine, everything just kept falling back down behind the stereo. It literally takes up all the space in that hole, but once you've got it in, it should just go in straight away. Don't do what I did with the old stereo and push the screen, because if you do that, it won't work. So there you go, guys. So that's basically it. It's a bit of a fiddly job getting the wiring to tuck in at the back, but once you've got it in, it should just click back on this like that. I think it needs a little bit of adjustment because that is not as far forward as the other one. But having said that, we can sort that out in a minute. We can probably put some washers behind it and pack it out a little bit. There you go. So I might attempt to do the microphone now as well. So as you can see, we got it in. Now there's a gap here around the surface there, so what we're going to do is take the trim off again. We're going to pack it out. So I've got these tap washers for plumbing, obviously. 1/2-inch tap washers. These are they? No, they're the 3/8 ones. I'm simply just going to pack it out a little bit. And we're going to do a few other things because there's a few things that aren't working on it, and yeah, a little SD card in there, 32 gig. So I'm assuming that that's for the sat nav, because the sat nav is in German. I'm here in the UK, so obviously tried to use it the other night and it didn't work, so I got to upgrade the sat nav, and we're going to just disconnect a few things as well. So I'm going to remove it. Just behind should work now. That turn a few things off. In-car navigation, there we go. Right, Bluetooth, so you just connect the Bluetooth. You see it says not connected, but I think you can only connect one phone at a time to it. So now it's connected, so it's connected straight to my phone. There you go, playing music. And so it does work. So obviously you need to go into your settings, but one of the things I found is the satellite thing is in German. So I don't know. What I'm going to do now is just have a play around with the settings and see. It says show on map. So we are in Germany at the moment, and it says your GPS receiver has been turned off. So we're going to turn on the GPS, delete the start point, and see whether we can find where we are. Oh, this is where we are. Right, so see if we can right, so well, oh, so it's done it. So we have the sat nav working. That's good, isn't it? So I think we can basically safe to say that's more or less working. So I want to put the trim back on now because I was a little bit unsure I'd connected it up right. So that looks a lot better now because it's a bit flushy with the front, and that's good, isn't it? So let's go to the menu, and See, it's got SD card there, so it's got SDs in, no SDs, right? It's got an SD there, so right. Mobile connection. Right, let's go into setup menu. Right, can we use these as toggles, or do we have to? It has a navigation there, so auto start, navigation, navi mix, navi monitored. We can't move it up, so move the volume up a bit. RDS, no language. Got the language right? English, right? That's fine. Let's try the Bluetooth setup. Auto answer, no, we don't want to auto answer. You can set a pin code on this if you want. SWC, no idea. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video when I get my words out, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Hopefully we'll get a reversing camera and some other bits and pieces and get all this wiring sorted out for the next video. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video.